Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. How to play when you have never played before. This episode we are going to dive into water and sewage, and this is very exciting for me. Because when I started this series, I thought, well, you know, this will be the 8th or the 9th episode, and by then, when I record that, I will know how this works. So I talked to a couple of guys on Discord, and they said, well, Kayamaya, are you sure? It's pretty difficult, and are you sure you want to do this? And well, here I am. So, as someone who's making tutorials, I always feel like I should be the one who knows. So I've talked to some people for hours, and I want to thank you, Oliki and Dennis, a lot for all your efforts and what you have taught me. And so now I hope I can pay it forward. So let's dive in. What we need to do to turn on water and sewage is obviously turn it on. So let's do this first. Water management, enable, and we probably need to restart again. See you at the other end. So here we are. I am pausing right away. Because people are pretty quick in determining they don't have any drinking water, and after a couple of days they're like, you know, this place stinks. And so we have to implement it and build it and then let it run. I'm going to do that offline. First I'm going to explain what all the icons are and what the feature does. Then I'm going to make a test setup, explain that to you, have it built, and then we are going to see how it works. So first I want to explain to you the water and sewage system. On the left we find all the water buildings, and on the right all the sewage pipes and buildings. Water is a pressured system. So water, you can lay water pipes uphill because there is pressure. Sewage without pumps you can only lay downhill. You know, it's almost like how it works in the real world. And I think 3 Division did a great job on that, to be honest. Because you can actually see if you make in water pipe, if you make too many bends, the pressure actually decreases. So that's a very nice feature. Anyway, first of all, we have the water pipes. You have small, big, large, and you can see how much water it can transport per day. We have our water substation. What is a water substation? Well, to be honest, it's nothing different than your electrical substation or your heating exchanger. It makes sure that all the buildings are that are connected are provided with water. We have our water pumping station, which pumps water. You need this on your network, your piping network. I think that's what it's called. Without pumps, like real life, water won't flow. You can put water pipes uphill, but not in the form that you can make an upside down Niagara Falls or something. You know, use it with caution. I wouldn't go like uphill and something like there, unless you want to build like 10 pumps or something. Anyway, enough about that. We have our small water tower. These are just storages. We have a water well. Water wells, you have a small one and a big one. Big ones need people to work, small ones don't. We have 7 people here. This produces 215 square meters of water per worker, and this as a whole produces 70 square meters of water. So this is very big. It's 1400 square meters of water when fully staffed, and this is 70. So it's 20 times as powerful. Am I correctly called? Yeah, I think I am. So you can place this, and here you can see the quality of the water. The closer you come to factories, the worse the quality gets. As you can see, 87, because we have been operating here for a year. But what if this operates for 10 years? Well, the worse the quality, the more expensive it is to clean your water and have its quality up to drinking water. People need 97% minimum of drinking water. If your water is below that, people will get ill earlier and they will need the hospital much earlier. I think your lifespan will decrease, which is 90 now, and the longer the lifespan, the longer you effectively have workers. So let's go into the water surface outflow. So here you can pump water from your canal or whatever. But as you see, well, no, let's build one other way around, like so. Let's build one, and here you can see the water quality is 77% instead of 94 if I would put a water well. So this is way more expensive to clean. So this is, I would use this only in really good quality water, which I don't know you can find actually. I don't know. So we have a small treatment plant and a big treatment plant. The small one has 5 workers, the big one 10. Then we have our loading and unloading station. This you would attach to your treatment plant in order to transport water. So why Kayamaya? Because we have pipes. Why would we do that? Because of money. Pipes cost money, and a lot of money. And if you want to begin your city on cosmonaut mode or realistic mode, then you definitely want to save money. So how does this work? I very briefly will explain this, but once we're now in the beginning of September 2022, we are all waiting for the cosmonaut mode release. Once that's been released, I want to make a video on how to start on realistic mode, and then I will cover this in more detail. But how it generally works is you place a loading unloading station near a water treatment plant, and then you can tell your technical service, you can buy a water truck, and you can say, well, there is my water loading unloading station, load your water there and unload it to the people here. So and then for the last one we have a water switch, where you can go 1 in 3 out. So that's the water part. I'm disabling my F2. Then the sewage part, which are mostly the same buildings. You have your pipes, your small, medium and large pipes. You have your sewage tank, which is the sewage substation. You can, sewage has to go downhill, but not our maps of where you want to go are downhill. Depending how much higher you want to pump your sewage, you have 3 pumps. You have one switch, which is about the same as the water switch, and you have your sewage discharge. Wherever you put it, your water will be polluted. So put it far away from any areas where you pump your water here, or I would keep it away from citizens as well, because pollution is bad. We have our treatment plant. Once the sewage reaches the water, you can also treat it instead of just dumping it into the river. You have a small and a big treatment plants. Treating sewage to be able to discharge here is expensive as well. It costs chemicals. So this is your big one, and also a lot of space if you see how big the footprints are. 20 workers also. And finally, what we did have for water and the loading and the unloading, where you could say to the technical services, get your water there, get your sewage there, and this will look for a sewage loading and unloading station. So, I think we have explained, I have explained now what all the buttons do. I'm going to make a test setup. I hope I'm explaining everything correctly. If not, please let me know in the comments so we can all learn, me as well. So I'm going to make a test setup and I'll come back in a moment. So my test setup is finished. I haven't built it yet, but I realized I forgot to mention two things. One is if you clean your water, you also generate wastewater. You see the maximum production here is 120 cubic meter of water, and the toxic liquids are 13 cubic meter of wastewater. Wastewater you can export, and if you look at the prices here, wastewater costs money to export. So that's that. Another and more important thing I forgot to mention: factories. Some factories need water to operate, like your concrete plant. This factory, without drinking water, it doesn't produce because of that, I see. But anyway, this factory only needs water to drink. All factories need water to drink, and that has to have a minimum quality of 97%. If I want to create a concrete plant, which is here, you can see at consumption at maximum production is 135 tons of gravel, 30 tons of cement, 85 cubic meter of water, and 12 megawatts of power. Required water quality 55%. So if you would place your concrete plant, say here, you could place a small water well right next to it, because this is already a 95% water quality. This water quality then goes to the production part of your concrete plant. And so there are, I think, also an aluminum plant, and there are like 4 or 5 plants that actually need water to be able to produce. So I thought that part was important to mention. We're going underground, and I'm first going to explain what I did to you with the water part and then with the sewage part. So I thought it would be nice to have our water treatment plant near where we have workers. So I put this one here, and then I thought, let's do it like this. If I created 3 water wells, small, don't need workers, and I place them a little bit uphill, so we already get some pressure purely from the fact that they are higher than our treatment facility. I put a pump, and I added 3 pipes. I have, you can do your calculations, like this is a big treatment plant, so how much can this treatment do in a day is 300 cubic meter of water, and you can kind of calculate what kind of pipes do I need. Maybe I can go with a medium pipe that I get enough water. I personally didn't do the math, and I was like, think big or go home. All pipes were big pipes, so easy peasy, right? To me, yeah. Then we have dirty water here, and we have 99% quality water going there. We're going to the first. So this is the water substation. This is the sewage pipe here. Here's the water pipe. And this is the other substation I put here, which covers all this area plus a little bit there. And I have one over here, where I provide water to these factories, and we had to have another one here because this coal mine also needed water. Water goes that direction, sewage goes down to this direction. So sewage substation. It's called differently. Tank, sewage tank here, which covers this area. It flows down to here. I created a switch here. And I'm not sure if the switch is enough, so I'm kind of guessing. I did use a smaller. No, these are the same size. Switch does nothing more than kind of, you know, like so, 3 in, 1 out. So from here the sewage comes, from here the sewage comes blobbing the way to here. And sewage comes from here, which goes down, and from here, and then it blobs here, 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 and here I have one pump, smallest one, pumping all the sewage to our sewage outlet, with which I put a lot from the city and also from where we get water. It's also lower. So I think this is our setup. I'm going to go to the upper world and let's press play. Let's do it. So everything is building. You see here all the pipes are being built. And once that's done, I'm going to press pause. Let's see. I'm pressing pause. We are operating. Here we are tanking water, and this is tanking water. So does the water reach our treatment plant? No, because it's not finished yet. So your tank is full. You can also see when it's actually working. Now it's not because we're waiting for the factory to be finished. You can see at the gauges, I think it's called, what the pressure is, and now you already see the pressure moving because this factory is going to work once the people are there, and we're almost there. Go, hurry up. Where are you? Oh, you're going there. Anyway, the first people arriving, and you see this is creating water, and the water export tank is filling up. Excellent. So if we then continue, let me see, I think this is the water. We can see the pressure going up here. Let's pause a little bit. Here, the prison, you can see the water is filled up, and you can also see the 2 bar pressure. I don't know how much is needed. I think at home, in real life, I need 1.5 bar pressure for our heating system. And I don't know how much is on the water system actually. So let's look at the buildings here. Not that here. Nobody is complaining about water. And is our factory is working again without issue. So we can safely say water is being distributed over the Republic. So what about waste? We have our waste station here, and it's doing something. We have 5% filling sewage, and here we have our pumping station. This is a water pumping. Oh no, I created a switch here. Yes, I created a switch here, yeah. So here we are also, the sewage tank is filling up, and this goes all the way here, also a switch. And let's see what our pump is doing here. Are you doing stuff? I'm not seeing anything, to be honest. But we are discharging. We are discharging 28 cubic meter per day, 29. So what we need to do is let this run for a couple of days. I think once this or another fills up, it's now 5%, maybe that's like your minimum, and then it starts, you know, going this way. So I will come back in a couple of days. But I also wanted to say, if you create sewage pipes, it creates all these drains here. Like you now have these drains in the middle of your everywhere. I personally like, because I like to build beautiful the way I build like this, I hardly do. So what you could do is kind of have your sewage pipes follow your roads and have a switch like here or like here, and then follow the road here, so you actually get roads with drains in it and not, you know, right in the middle of nowhere. This would look at this. Hello, this would look good in cities and areas, I think, but on highways, I think not so nice. But I just wanted to mention it as an option. So I'm going to let it run for, I think, a month and see where we are then. See you there. So it's now a month later, it's May 16th, and let's see how we're doing. First I said let's look at this sewage here. It's still 5% filled, so I'm guessing that's the minimal amount. And water, we are doing fine as well, because you see our water tank, it stays pretty much filled 100%. So yeah, we are good to go. I forgot to mention that because we have created our electrical substation and our discharge here, I had to expand our electrical network because our substation here was full. So I added a switch here and another substation here. So now we have plenty connections. So as rounding this up, I would like to see how are we pollution wise with our water being dumped for a month in our sewage being dumped here in the water. Sorry, our sewage being dumped in the water. So actual pollution. See that we are pretty polluting already. So yeah, that's an issue. Well, not an issue. It's good that we placed it pretty much away from our citizens and where we get our water from. So good to know. Don't expand these pumps towards here. So I think we're reaching the end. I'm going to do you a favor and I'm going to zoom in on the smell of flowers. Can you almost smell it? I can. Well, if you like this episode, please subscribe to this very, very smelly channel. I hope you like this and see you next time. Bye bye.